Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest football transfer news as Liverpool are linked to a shock striker in Gyokeres. Also updates on Isak coming in from David Ornstein. Chelsea are busy and Arsenal, surprisingly, an interesting transfer stat on them. And it's not just the fact that Benjamin Sesko is now following them on Instagram. Lots to get into on the show as usual, but let's start off with this story coming out of Portugal, that Victor Gyokeres is now on the agenda for Liverpool. Now, this would be a please no from me as a Man United fan and probably Arsenal fans as well. Not because Liverpool don't have the right to go and be efficient and effective in the transfer window. They've spent the last few weeks doing that, of course, but mainly because I think if Liverpool were to bring in a striker of the quality of a Gyokeres or an Osman or an Isak, it makes a very strong team even stronger. So do we believe that Liverpool are in for him? Well, the first thing I would say is, why wouldn't they be looking at a forward, which they clearly are? The Isak story is a very interesting development, which we'll give you in a moment. But I would say about Gyokeres, does he suit what Arne Slot's going to want in a Liverpool side? Remember those passing lanes. Remember the ability of wide players to run beyond the striker. It's not really, I don't think it's really a system that Gyokeres works, and it would be an expensive experiment and it would need a tweak of the system. When you look at what Liverpool will be looking for in that position, you're looking at people like Ekitike, you're looking at people like, obviously Jota's already there, but you're looking at people like Isak who have more flair to their game, more dribbling ability, more technicality, more link-up play. I think Gyokeres is more of an old-fashioned striker. He can do the carrying of the ball, he can do the dribbling, but he's a poacher, he's a last man, he's a presser. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't think he's the profile of striker. Interestingly also, I don't know how reliable you would say this is as a source, but TNT Sports are saying that despite Portuguese reports, what they're hearing is that Liverpool are not in for Gyokeres. So let us know what your thoughts are on that. It would be a shockingly good signing, but maybe it's not the right fit. The right fit is Isak, and we have got a development coming in from David Ornstein, and these are his words. Newcastle have no intention of selling Isak whatsoever. They want to renew his contract. They're in a strong position. He's got 3 years on his contract still remaining, and they'll have no problem offering him a decent wage. He's at the centre of the ambitious Saudi-led project. From the player's point of view, he has top-level football secured with Newcastle's qualification for the Champions League, and of course, they've just won their first trophy in a long time, and he always seems to play with a smile on his face. It could take around £150 million offer from Liverpool just to start a conversation. There's no suggestion of any development around recent rumours or reports at the moment. Liverpool may try, but that doesn't mean they'll succeed. I think with the Isak thing, if Liverpool are going to do it, they need to do it soon, and then if they can't do it, they'll have to move on. But there doesn't seem to be very little point in talking about this for the next few weeks. Isak's either going to let it be known that he wants Liverpool to do it and let it be known to Newcastle that he wants to go, or he's going to sit there like he is at the moment saying, I'm happy at Newcastle, I've got nothing to talk about. So Liverpool need to make that decision. Are they going to have a go, or are they going to back off? £150 million is a lot of money. Would you have a go? Let us know in the comments. Interestingly as well, another update from David Ornstein re Liverpool. Might be a bit of a surprise. Obviously, I don't know how this resonates, but Liverpool do intend on keeping and using Luis Diaz, even if he goes into the last 2 years of his contract and ultimately leaves as a free agent. It feels with Luis Diaz, from the outside looking in, that he is a player that is interested in moves away from Liverpool. Not necessarily forcing that, but this happened a year ago, it's happened again. It feels like he's a player that looks at other projects and goes, hey, I might be interested in that. Liverpool's stance clearly is, good player, we want to keep him. My opinion on Luis Diaz as a player is that when he's at it, he's very, very difficult to deal with. And replacing a player like that for Liverpool might be something that they're just not interested in doing in this very busy summer transfer window. And all the signings that they bought aren't actually, or even if they go for Isak, then none of them are in Luis Diaz's position. So you're looking at another replacement. I think Liverpool would like Anthony Gordon. I think that's what they would love to do in that position. That's not going to happen this summer. So I think the way Liverpool are looking at it is you've got 2 years left on your contract. You're an important member of our team. We're not looking in the efficiency that we've been dealing with recently. We're not looking to sell you and replace you. Pre-season starts in a week and a half. Maybe I'm wrong on reading it like that, but that's how it looks at the moment. Bit of surprising news if you're interested. Man City's Ederson, the goalkeeper, has said that he's staying at Manchester City. He says there's been a lot of fake news around my name. My head is staying at the club. It stays with Man City, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm surprised about that. I did think that that was a player that Pep was looking to move on, but ultimately it looks like he will be staying at Man City and there'll be no goalkeeper coming in. Gittins to Chelsea is getting closer and closer, but let me just talk to you about Arsenal here. And I do think Chelsea will still be active in the window, by the way. Still linked to a lot of players, still think they'll be looking for a forward. But surprising stat about Arsenal. Are you happy with their window so far, Arsenal fans? Because they've actually technically bought 3 players. Zubimendi is an Arsenal player. It's just waiting for July, isn't it, to be official. Kepa is an Arsenal player, bought in as a goalkeeper, backup. And Norgard is going to be an Arsenal player as well. So as much as there is this, oh, look at Man City, look at Liverpool, look at Chelsea. Arsenal, under the radar, unfashionable, whatever. 3 signings, 3 deals. And that sort of has gone under the radar a little bit from Arsenal, hasn't it? I mean, look, the big thing about Arsenal is they could buy 10 players and everyone would say, well, who's the striker and who's the winger? They're the 2 glamorous signings that are going to happen. But I've always been a firm believer, and I've said this on the United stand about Man United, it's not always about clubs don't necessarily buy people in order of priority. Look, Liverpool got Frimpong before they got Wirtz. They could get Wirtz, Gyokeres and Frimpong before they get Isak if they actually did that deal. So it's not always about priority. In fact, it rarely is. It's about a pathway. And clubs will look at it and go, that's our priority deal, but it's probably going to take a couple of months. If we spend 2 months doing that first, we miss out or we delay this one. Frimpong's straightforward, let's do it. So I think with Arsenal, they've probably done some of the foundation signings before they go and do the big signing. And look, they need to add a bit of squad depth. Kepa as a backup goalkeeper, Norgard as a backup midfielder, Zubimendi gives midfield, he's a midfield starter, he's a big signing. But Arsenal have been active in the transfer window, and obviously we expect more of that to come. Do I think anything about Sesko following them on Instagram? He follows Man City. So I've seen so many players follow Man United on Instagram in the summer transfer window and not sign for us that I don't think it's significant, but I do think Sesko will sign for Arsenal. I think it's the perfect move for him, and it's the one that Arteta wants. So I guess we'll just have to see how quickly that deal can happen. In other news, Muniz of Fulham will not be leaving. I don't know whether he was on anybody's menu this summer, but Muniz is not on the menu. He will be staying at Fulham. I think that's a positive. I think we talk about the top clubs so much. But the big positive about the Premier League last season was the competitive nature of it. I want that to continue. Bournemouth are losing a lot of players. Brentford are losing a lot of players. They are also losing their manager. These 2 clubs last season were a breath of fresh air. I want Fulham and Brighton and Brentford and Bournemouth and Forest and all these clubs to stay competitive. It makes the Premier League more interesting. So I think it's a good thing if Fulham can maintain most of their squad. And Anthony Robinson was brilliant for them last year. I thought there might be a few clubs looking at him, but looks like he'll be staying as well. Positives. We are expecting a Gyokeres here we go today, by the way. Won't be a surprise to Liverpool fans, but it was meant to happen yesterday. David Ornstein and Romano said it was going to happen yesterday, I think, but some minor delays. It will be happening. It could be today. Let's see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash a like on the video, and I will speak to you in a bit. And please do subscribe. Thank you, everybody, again. Speak to you in a bit.